Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up, and I want to begin first by thanking our latest Patreon supporters, including our first gold level supporter, and that gold level supporter is Shabib, so thank you very much for your contribution, Shabib. And I also want to thank some other folks for their contributions too. Santosh Balaspermanian, I hope I pronounced your name right, Benjamin Barbado, Stephen Clark, Chuck Glidden, and R. Waller. All of these folks are contributing to the Patreon on a monthly basis. You'll also see their names starting on February 1st on our end credit roll. I am going to be improving that end credit roll soon, as well as the intro, because we have so many people on the Patreon now. I want to give everyone at least a little bit of airtime. That list goes by a little bit too quick, so I'll be making some revisions to that when I do the update for the February list of contributors, so be on the lookout for that. But I want to thank all these folks and everyone who has been contributing via the Patreon. It is growing at a really nice rate, and we're getting not quite there yet, but getting closer to being able to actually afford a part-time helper for me to get some things set up and actually help me produce more content. So our first goal is to bring in $1,500 a month, which will go right to paying somebody to help get things set up for review. So we'll keep working our way to get to that point and add an employee perhaps, or at least a high school kid working here after work or something. So I wanted to go over what I looked at over the last week since the last wrap-up video, and that includes the Remix for PC end user license agreement. A lot of you wrote in about some crazy terms and conditions that they had in their end user license agreement, or EULA. I reached out to Remix, and they actually changed their EULA in response to all of the response that they got to it. So they have updated everything. I explained exactly what went on with it in the video, which will be linked above, along with all the other videos I'm talking about this week. I also got in some reviews this week too. We had the Dell Inspiron i3050. This is a nice little mini PC powered by an Intel Celeron J1800. You can get it for $150 on Amazon with the keyboard and mouse, very reasonably priced, and it also supports some of the lossless audio formats that home theater people might be interested in learning about. So you can check out that review linked above. I may do a little bit more with this because I think I may want to try to get Open ELEC put on it and see how it really functions in that home theater role. We also looked at the Sennheiser AVX wireless microphone system, which is a great wireless production little set for doing outside activities, which I will be doing more of hopefully this year. And I know a lot of you have been complaining about those big mics with the wires that I have when I'm out on a shoot, so this might actually solve that problem because it can be set up with no configuration. You turn it on and it works, and that is exactly what I was looking for. So check out that review if you want to see how this microphone works. If you are doing production and often frustrated by your microphones, this might be worth investing in because it really will solve some problems for you, I think. And speaking of home theater systems, we also looked at a beta of Kodi that works on the Nvidia Shield to provide DTS HD and Dolby True HD, those lossless audio formats, in addition to 23.976 frame rate playback of movies. And if you don't know what that's about, it's a big deal because too many people are watching movies the wrong way at 60 hertz or greater, and you really should be watching these things at the frame rates that the filmmakers intended them to be watched at. Unfortunately, TV manufacturers don't make it easy these days because they set all this motion interpolation stuff on televisions, which makes movies look like soap operas. It drives me crazy. I may actually do a whole video about this soon because you really need to watch movies at 24 frames per second, and now you can with your Nvidia Shield TV. A lot of set-top boxes don't do this, especially at the consumer level. This one does, and it's great if you are keeping your own library of movies like I do that you took off of DVDs or Blu-ray discs. So a nice development here. You can check out more about that in our master playlist linked above. I also wanted to talk today about 360p, speaking of frame rates. Because when I upload videos, especially some of the longer ones, a lot of you folks who get in right when I upload it complain that it's in such a low resolution. This happens every single time one of those longer videos goes up, and I wanted to explain exactly why that is. So what I do on the channel is when I have a video done and ready to upload, I usually just publish it immediately. And the reason is that most of my traffic, even though we have a growing subscriber base, we hit 75,000 this week, but most of my traffic comes from search, which means that the longer a video is not accessible to search engines, the more views I lose. So whenever I have a video done, I just publish it right away because I don't want to lose any potential viewership from those videos. And what happens though is that if you get in very early as a subscriber, I know a lot of you have set on notifications so that whenever I upload a video, you're told when to go watch it. If you do that right away, oftentimes you're going to get the lower resolution version because YouTube takes some time to process it first. So what they do is they go through their initial processing and they upload a 360p version to their servers, and then over time it starts to increase in resolution. So after about 20 minutes to a half hour or so, that 1080p version is usually largely available to the world. So if you are wondering why I'm in low res, it's because you are a very good viewer of the channel and get in very early when these videos go up. So I just wanted to bring that up because it just happens every time I upload a video, and I wanted to have an explanation that I could point people to, so now you know why that is. So sometimes I do schedule things, but generally I don't. So if you do see it as 360p, just come back in a half hour or so and you'll have the 1080p version waiting for you as well. Hopefully I look better in 1080 than I do in 360p. I also wanted to add a new segment to the wrap-up called Q&A. And this is going to be something where I'm just going to take questions from you all from the prior wrap-up and answer them in the next one. So if you have some general questions about the channel, about anything really, leave it down below. I'll pick out a few of them and answer them on the wrap-up. I really want to keep finding more ways to interact with all of you, and that's going to be another way to do it. So leave me some questions down below. I'll pick out a few and read them on the wrap-up. If I don't get to your question, please don't be offended. I can only take a couple per week, but I will try to answer the ones that I won't do on the air in the comment stream below as best I can. So definitely leave me some questions and we'll try to answer them. So this week I've got a couple of things on the horizon that I have some ambitions to complete. The first one, which I know will be up probably tomorrow, is an update on the HD Home Run DVR. This is a thing we've talked about on the channel quite a bit. A lot of you came to this channel because of my HD Home Run reviews. They're coming up with their own replacement for Windows Media Center, essentially, their own DVR product. That is starting to look really nice, actually. So we're going to be looking at it running on a Windows Mini PC. Right now, they've got their beta kind of moving along, and if you are an early access subscriber to that service, you can start playing with it on Windows. So I'll talk more about exactly how that works in that video. We got a gaming keyboard from Logitech, a mechanical gaming keyboard. We'll be looking at that. Very lightweight, actually, for a mechanical keyboard. So we putting that through its paces. Maybe I'll hook it up to this thing, the Lenovo Y900 gaming PC. This is a pre-built gaming PC from Lenovo that we'll be looking at too. All of those things I hope to get to this week. Maybe a few more things too, depending on how much energy I have left at the end of the week. And if you want to help the channel, you can. You can go to Lon.TV/Patreon and make a monthly contribution to the channel, as those folks at the beginning of the video did. You can also leave a one-time contribution at Lon.TV via YouTube fan funding. If you do go the fan funding route, please do send me a note, because YouTube doesn't always tell me when people do this. So I'd really like to thank everyone publicly when they contribute if you want that. So please let me know if you did make a contribution, because I do want to thank you for doing it, and oftentimes I can't do that. If you want to passively help the channel financially, you can do that also by shopping at Amazon. If you go to Lon.TV/Amazon, that will take you into Amazon, and anything you buy there, a portion of that sale will come back to the channel. It doesn't affect your price at all, but they do give the channel a cut of their sale for bringing you to their platform. So if you want to help the channel, that's a great way to do it too. And we have plenty of ways to connect to the channel. You can go to Lon.TV/email to get on my email list. I do have an email update coming soon once I get the store restocked of used stuff for you to buy. We also have our Facebook page at Lon.TV/Facebook, and of course the forums at Lon.TV/forums. I'm using that mostly as a place to post frequently asked questions, but you're welcome to sign up and communicate with me there as well as other viewers of the channel. So that's going to do it for this week's weekly wrap-up. I got a lot of work to do this week, so hopefully I'll get all those things done for you to look at. If there are things that you want me to review, I'm looking for new things that just came out, especially from name brands that are reasonably priced. So if there are things that you're out there looking at that you think I should be seeing, also leave those down in the comments below. I'm not going to get to everything. My preference really is for things that have a wide retail presence and are very searchable, but anything of interest that I'm finding interesting, I'm probably going to pick up and review. So I'd love to get all of your ideas. Even if you don't think it's a good idea, put it up there anyhow, because I might find something interesting about that product. So I'm always looking for more stuff, and I'm finally getting caught up now, which means I've got to start looking for some more things to review. This is Lon.TV. We'll see you next week, and thank you for watching. This channel is brought to you by the generosity of my Patreon supporters. If you find the channel helpful, you too can contribute for as little as $1 a month. Visit Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more.